78 Sports TV here. Salute to the mighty LDBC. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe, turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified when I drop a new video. And if you're digging the video, go ahead and share this joint. Wow, wow, wow. First of all, shout out to my brother Ticket TV. I saw his video on this. Cris Carter, the NFL Hall of Famer, TV analyst, has just exposed and just put everything out there on the table about these debate shows from Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith. Cris Carter, in response to Skip Bayless being fired, the news of Skip Bayless being kicked off of television, Cris Carter says, tells a story about how when he used to be a guest on the show, in a commercial break, he had to G-check Skip Bayless and told him, if you ever talk to me like that again, he said, first, I'll never be a guest on your show again. If you ever talk to me like that again, I'm gonna hit you in your mouth. So he had to check Skip on that. All right. He said Skip Bayless has fake studio courage, where he talks tough in the studio, but outside the studio, he's a different person. You know what I'm saying? He accused Skip Bayless of being a culture vulture for trying to get. He said Skip started wearing Jordans on TV, showing off his Jordans. Skip started wearing gold jewelry and stuff like that, trying to be hip, trying to attract more of the black audience and stuff like that, right? And he insinuated that Skip Bayless used Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp for the black audience, and I guess it didn't work out. He tried to, of course, buddy up to Lil Wayne, and he went and got him a all-star Negro League team, and Michael Irvin and Keyshawn Johnson and what's the dude name? Paul Pierce, and all kind of stuff. He did everything, but it just didn't work. It all failed. So Cris Carter, the main thing he said that was interesting to me was Cris Carter said that the debates are fake. He said these debates have been popular for about 12 years now. He said, but as a person who's been on these shows, he said that how it works is the arguments are slanted to Stephen A. Smith or Skip Bayless. Says that these guys get the topics and stuff, and they pick what position they want to take. All right. And he's basically said more so Skip Bayless. He gave Stephen A. Smith a lot of props. He said Stephen A. Smith seems to be an authentic guy and all that kind of stuff, according to him. He said Stephen A. seems to be authentic. He said Stephen A. got a lot of information on a lot of athletes, but he never tells it. And he said so he respects Stephen A. Smith. He said, but Skip Bayless, on the other hand, he said the arguments are geared towards him winning. And when things go off script, like when the arguments get, you see what happened with him and Shannon, right? You see what happened with him and Jalen Rose. If somebody ain't bowing down and letting him win the argument, right? Like WWE wrestling match, right? Vince McMahon or whoever might tell him, all right, look, Hulk Hogan, you're going to win this match. All right, so make it look good. And now if Andre the Giant or whoever else, I'm showing my age, I'm sorry. But if Andre the Giant say, hey, look, forget Hogan. I'm not honoring this, right? He go off script, now you got a disaster. You see what I'm saying? And this is what happens when you have Skip Bayless having these blow-ups with everybody, is when the show goes off script. When guys aren't allowing him to beat them in debates. And that's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Shocking, if you will. Because the arguments look real to me. You know what I'm saying? I know they was putting on a little bit, but I thought the arguments was real. Man, this really hurt Skip Bayless. This really hurt that man's credibility. Lord have mercy. Now, and it makes sense now when I look at Stephen A. Smith, the times he's gotten very angry. What happened? What happened when he gets very angry on television? What does he always say? I knew nothing about this. Remember we got mad at Max Kellerman? When Max Kellerman was the co-host of First Take, and you had the dude from the Migos, and you had Kendrick Perkins on the show, and they were beefing. They had like some beef out on Twitter or something. Stephen A. didn't know nothing about it, but Max Kellerman brought the beef up. And because, Max Kellerman keep his ear to the street when it comes to hip-hop and stuff like that. So Max Kellerman was talking about their beef between Kendrick Perkins and cat from the Migos. And Stephen A was sitting there looking out of place. He was angry. He kept saying, he just sat there and pouted like a child. And then after the segment, he was like, I didn't know anything about this. Yeah, I didn't know anything about this. Like, so what? You didn't know nothing about it. What? He just kept whining about it. So I knew right then and there he finna get rid of Max. He didn't like that. He was offended that something happened without his approval on first take. But he's supposed to be the executive producer type guy. You're supposed to come to him for everything. You know what I'm saying? Any topic, he want to know all about it. So he feels salty that he knew the Migos was coming on the show. He knew Kendrick Perkins was coming on the show to discuss basketball. What he didn't know is that they had some prior beef, and Max Kellerman did know. So that bothered bothered Stephen A. Smith. Also, another time with Stephen A. Smith, when things went off script, when they were talking about the WNBA. See, when he was taking the position that these WNBA chicks are jealous of Caitlin Clark and all this type of stuff, and they should be happy that Caitlin Clark is there to give them all this attention, and it's going to equal more dollars for them in the long run. Monica McNutt went off script. Monica McNutt, she kind of checked Stephen A. and said, well, dude, you could have been talking about the WNBA. You talking about it now because Caitlin Clark out here. Stephen A. got upset. Oh, boy, did he get upset. Yes, he did. What about when Malika Andrews went off script and challenged Stephen A. on his own show, basically trying to insinuate that he got like he's like he got some issue with women or something doing that Ime Udoka stuff, and Stephen A. Smith had to check Malika and say, I don't like where you going with this. I was happy he checked Malika. Though. I can't stand Malika Andrews, but these simps out here on YouTube, they love them some Malika Andrews because she pretty. So that's all it takes. A pretty face to take all these dudes' money out their wallet. Credit cards maxed out, everything, man. Pretty face, that's it. But anyway, but he showed Chris Carter showed a lot of respect for Stephen A. Smith though, in his journalism. He didn't have any respect for Skip Bayless because he said Skip Bayless is a fraud, pretty much, and he said that Skip Bayless is pretty much a mean-spirited person. He kind of insinuated, he didn't say, but he insinuated that Skip Bayless may have, some bigotry in him, some prejudices and stuff like that in him. And I definitely think that's true. From what I know of Skip Bayless and what I've seen him, how he attacks certain athletes, I definitely believe he has some of that in him. But anyway, I was impressed by Chris Carter letting the cat out the bag and letting everybody know what time it is. But these debate shows, a lot of this stuff is scripted, like the WWE, and I'm glad somebody exposed it. Y'all let me know what y'all think. 78 Sports TV. Salute to the mighty LDBC. I'm sure all y'all gonna come to the comments and say, "Oh yeah, that's obvious. I've been knew it was fake." Of course you did. You're the smartest person in the world. I holla.